we've got to recognize worship's about loving God. Nothing more, nothing less. But that's not limiting. That's the most expansive thing I could say that worship is. It is Deuteronomy 6. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, all your strength. It's what Jesus said is the greatest commandment. Love God, that's worship. Leading people into that is leading worship. But we as worship leaders have to be honest and say, in the New Testament, there's not one verse that justifies what any of us do. Not one. I wish you could show it to me. I've scoured it. It's not there. Not one verse in the New Testament talks about worship leadership. There's a lot of worship, a lot of leadership, zero worship leadership. What do you do with that? You need to be honest about that and go, so then what does worship look like in the New Testament? Figure it out. What does leadership look like in the New Testament? Look at it. Look at the pastoral epistles. You know what they talk about a lot more than competency? Character. You need to be able to encourage people in sound doctrine. Like, how are you doing with your doctrine? How are you doing with your life? Like, how are you doing digging into the Word of God? How are you doing there, getting to know God? You got to be able to do that. You want to lead people in the church? You got to be able to encourage people in sound doctrine. And you also need to be really good at hospitality. You're really good at loving people. How are you doing there? We get on stage in our church and we're like, it's so good to have you in the house. Good to have you in the house. And we never have anyone into our actual house. But what New England, what we need worship leaders who can still lead people in loving God long after the singing's ended. We need worship leaders who would still be looked at as leaders in their churches, even if they lost their voice. That's what we need to see. That would actually change things. That really would change things. Worship leaders lead songs. We don't need any more worship leaders. Worship pastors lead people. That's what we need. Not about leading songs or leading music. It's about leading men and women, leading families, changing everything. When worship goes right, it changes everything.